Dropping out of school was not his desire. Dropping out of school was the only option he had left. After Onyango had tried all he could do to remain in school, it was so difficult for him. He couldn't pay the bills. He couldn't pay school fees. He couldn't feed himself. He couldn't pay rent. He couldn't pay to do his assignments. He couldn't pay for cyber. He couldn't afford anything at all. After walking to and fro to school and back to where he used to stay, it was too difficult for him. Onyango was living in a lot of debts. It was too difficult for him. He tried asking for help from his family members after the death of his father, after the death of his mother, after the death of his parents. He became an orphan. He had nobody else. He tried asking help from his family members, the remaining family members, his uncles and his relatives. Every day, everybody gave an excuse. Onyango tried all his best to stay in school. Onyango tried to be in class on time. But when the rules were too tough, Onyango couldn't bear the situation in school. He couldn't stay in school anymore because he couldn't pay school fees. And so he had to drop out of school, and he found himself in the streets of Nairobi. Onyango slept in the streets for some time because he had nobody to invite him under their own roofs. Onyango had no friends to associate with in this new city. So Onyango had to find his ways through to survive. One day Onyango met somebody, a young boy, who just got employed. And he stopped him in the streets and shared with him a bit of his story and told him, "Hello sir, how are you? My name is Onyango. I am an orphan. I have nobody to stay with. I have no home. I've been sleeping in this street for now 2 days since I came to Nairobi. And I dropped out of school, out of campus, after passing very well. Sir, is there any job that you could offer me just to keep me in your house so that you can provide food for me? I'm ready to do any kind of job that you will offer me. I am ready to do anything. Anything. Sir, if you tell me today to wash you, I will wash you. Just from you to find a place to fit me under your roof. I need some money to survive. I need some money to buy new clothes. I need money just to give God thanks. Sir, is there anything I could do for you?" Now, Onyango was only 23 years old by this time, after he was going through a lot. And the person he met was just in his early 30s. Yeah, I think he was in his 30s. So what happened? This man sympathized with Onyango. The story that Onyango told him made tears flow down his cheeks from his eyes. And he sympathized and he told him, "You know what, Onyango? I'm going to give you a job. I'm going to give you, you're going to become a houseboy. Can you do house chores as a houseboy?" And Onyango said, "I can do anything, anything, sir, including anything. Give me the job. Try me and see." This man took Onyango. They went home. And Onyango was happy to be home.
Onyango?
Yes, sir.
Welcome home. This is your new home.
Hey.
Hapa ni nyumbani sasa. Yes, we feel free. Forgive me.
Okay, it's very big.
Yeah. Yes, just forgive me. We'll see how we can make the house clean. So just feel free. You'll clean the house. You'll see what you can do. I'll be going to work. Because I'm tired right now. I'll go to sleep. You can take over the job. You can see what to do. Your room is upstairs. After you're done, maybe tomorrow you can start your normal routine. Okay, Onyango? Good.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. I now have a home. I have a home. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Thank you for giving me a roof over my head. Thank you for offering a roof over my head, oh God. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Lord. I have to go to the toilet. This man was a rich guy, lived in a big house, a 3-bedroomed house, and he had no wife, he had no family, he was staying on himself. He just got employed and he was just rich. So Onyango was happy to stay with this person. This person described his Onyango's job description, and he told him, Onyango, what you will do, you will be cooking for me, you will be ensuring this house is clean, you will take care of this house just like your own as my house manager. Make sure food is cooked on time, make sure my clothes are clean, make sure you just do everything and always be on the right side, not to always find yourself on the wrong side, because finding yourself on the wrong side might lead to your job, you losing your job. Also, finding yourself on the wrong side might lead you to be sent away. You might end up in jail, or you might end up in the wrong place where you should be. Now, be a good boy, Onyango. Onyango was happy. For the next few months they stayed together. Onyango worked very hard to see this man happy. This young man was so happy. He was so pleased with the way Onyango worked. His house was ever clean. Food was cooked on time. His clothes were ever clean and ironed. I mean, his house was just good, perfect. And now this man just loved Onyango so much. And he decided to introduce some pay or some salary to Onyango. And the first salary he wanted to pay Onyango was 10,000. That is $100. Onyango was so happy. The first time he received his first salary, Onyango couldn't believe it was him. He was so happy to receive money. Oh my, you don't know. Do you know what it means to receive money after, yani your own money? Somebody tells you, counts 1, 2, 3 to 10,000 Kenyan shillings, $100, and tells you this is yours for your good job. This is your salary. Onyango was the happiest man on earth on that day. Now, after working for this man for 3 months, things turned around. Onyango started experiencing strange things in this house. Hey. One day this man came home with another friend of his who's a fellow man. By appearance he looked like he was 25, 23, 24, 25. And the activities that took place since this man came to the house were very strange, because this man had no family. Onyango had never seen any family member. He had never seen anybody come to visit this man. No family, no friends. But today, he brought home a man, a young boy. But now, whatever things that happened were left to be narrated on another day. These people, Onyango prepared one of the rooms for the guest, only to realize in the morning that this guest never spent the night in his room. This guest spent the night in his boss's room. And whatever thing that happened in that room, once again, is to be explained on another day. Because when time to clean that room came, when the boss had gone to work and the visitor had left, Onyango had to clean the room. So when he went to the room, his boss's room, to clean and to do his normal routine cleaning, he realized that the bed sheets were stained with some kind of stains that looked like feces, human poo. But Onyango didn't know what happened. He kept his mouth shut, not to ask anybody. He washed the sheets clean and spread new ones on this big bed. The following day, his boss came back home with a different boy. Oh no, oh no. And the night passed. The following day, there was a repeat of the same. The sheets that were spread the previous night were stained with this kind of feces. If you understand, poo-poo, mavi. Onyango started getting worried. He had nobody to share with anybody, and he couldn't confront his boss. He couldn't ask his boss. He cannot question his boss. Boss, what's happening? What are these that are happening? Why is it that nowadays I keep on finding strange stains on your bed sheets? You see? He couldn't ask anybody. He couldn't ask the boss. Trouble started falling. One day, this habit kept happening. His boss went to work, and every evening as he returned, he came back home with a boy, with a dude. And whatever thing that happened was the same. Onyango couldn't ask. Onyango couldn't question. Now, problems started when one day his boss returned home a little bit tipsy, but with no friend. This time he came home alone, but he was acting strangely. His boss started seducing him. He asked him, Onyango, take off your clothes. I want you today to serve me while you are in your boxers. Onyango, I want you to serve me while you are in your underwears. Onyango felt a little bit uncomfortable and told his boss, sir, I don't think if that is really good. But his boss threatened him and told him,
Onyango, I am the boss. If you cannot do so, then get back to your room, pack what you can pack what belongs to you, and leave.
Onyango felt threatened and scared. He had to obey. So Onyango started operating that night in his underwears. I mean boxers alone. He served his boss food. They ate. He took out the utensils to clean them, and his boss followed him to the kitchen. And guess what? This boss didn't follow Onyango in the kitchen to help him clean the dishes, but he followed Onyango in the kitchen to actually seduce him sexually. Poor Onyango. Onyango had no option. Onyango tried resisting and telling his boss, boss, what do you want to do? What is this that you want to do? Sir, this is not right. And you know what? His boss told him,
boy, I've been loving you from the first day I met you.
You know, his boss was already tipsy. And when I say tipsy, I mean he was a little bit drunk. Onyango couldn't believe his boss was telling him these big, heavy words. The boss continued,
I have loved your presentation. You have the best body. I've always loved you. From the first day I saw you in the streets, I knew if I take you home, you will be mine. I knew if I feed you, you'll get healthy and you'll be a good boy. You will be this beautiful. You're good looking, Onyango. And you know what? Tonight, I'm gonna spend the night with you in my room.
Onyango tried resisting, and the boss threatened him again. He reminded him,
Onyango, remember the rule is simple. You either cooperate or pack and leave. You have only the two options to choose one.
Here Onyango found himself. He had no option. He thought it twice. If this man sends me out tonight, I will go back to the streets and be nobody's visitor. I cannot imagine suffering again in the streets. I can't count the number of times I went hungry without food. But in this place, this man feeds me. He gives me everything. Look at me. I am living healthy. My body is good. At least I have a beautiful smile because this man has given me the chance to eat and feed. But again, Onyango had a different second thought. Onyango said, now that he had some money that he had saved, he felt like, if today I leave this place, I have this amount of money. If I decide to rent a house to survive, it will be difficult because the money I have will all end up on paying bills and rent, but I do not have a job. How will I survive? Onyango had no option. The poor boy went with his boss into his bedroom, and the boss told him, take off your boxers. Onyango had no option. He did it when he was in pain, tears flowing from his eyes, but his boss was unsympathetic. His boss was unmerciful. His boss took off his clothes, and there he was with Onyango on his bed. You know, Onyango had no option. Onyango did what he did. They had
sexual intercourse.
That was the first time Onyango knew his boss was gay. Oh no, poor Onyango. It happened. No protection. No nothing. Onyango cried. He cried, he tried screaming, only to be silenced by a hot police kind of a slap. Onyango had no option. Onyango gave his nakedness to a fellow man. He cried the whole night. He felt pain. He didn't know what to do. In the morning, he woke up from his boss's bed, went, boiled water for his boss to bathe, made breakfast for his boss, and his boss, after showering, after taking breakfast, left without speaking a word to Onyango. Onyango at this time was worried. He didn't know what to do. He didn't know whom to share with. He didn't know what to do. He didn't know at all. Onyango was sad. Onyango. Oh, poor Onyango. Night came. Onyango was scared again because his boss returned home tipsy, again drunk, and wanted a repeat of the same. Oh no, oh no, oh no. It was a nightmare to Onyango. But he had no option. He did it again. And then this became a routine. Onyango now knew that this man will always return every evening and have sexual intercourse with him. What do you expect? Onyango thought this was the right thing to do. trouble started when his boss started having negative attitudes towards him. His boss started abusing him, started insulting him, started telling him how good he was for nothing. And once in a while, his boss would come back home and beat him seriously. Sometimes he'll beat him for no good reason. And you will remind him how poor he is. He would tell him how he picked him from the streets. He would remind him of very many bad experiences he went through. Onyango didn't know why. Until one day his boss told him, you know what?
I'm tired of having you in my house. I have found somebody who is supposed to come stay at my place and is supposed to replace you. So Onyango, I'm giving you 1 week to find where to go to, because by the end of 7 days, somebody else shall be in this house to take your job.
What was Onyango left to do? He had no option. Onyango cried. Onyango tried pleading, but sir, I have nowhere to go. I have no family. Sir, where do you want me to go? Please. I thought you were happy. I've given you everything that you ever wanted from me. Sir, what's wrong? Sir, is there anything that I have done wrong? I'm ready to apologize. I'm ready to go down on my knees. Sir, please forgive me. Have I wronged you? Have I done anything wrong to you? Sir, what have I done? Sir, please forgive me. Give me another chance. His boss was heartless. Remember, if he slept with Onyango, knowing it was not the right thing to do, that was sexual harassment. He harassed him. He molested a young boy, an orphan who had nowhere to go to. So what will make him sympathetic this time around and sympathize and give Onyango another chance to stay in his place? Poor Onyango. Onyango cried. Onyango cried. Onyango had nowhere to go. Oh. After 1 week, the boss came home. This time round, feeling sad. He was sad. He was sad. He was not happy. He wasn't drunk, but he was sad. Onyango, on seeing his boss, he just started crying and telling his boss, sir, please, I have nowhere to go. Sir, look, sympathize with me. I have nowhere to go. If you send me away tonight, I'm going to end up in the streets. I have nowhere to go, sir. I have no family. I have no money, no food. Don't do this to me. Don't do it to me. And instead, the boss cried. He started crying like a baby. You know what? The boss told him he's sorry. The boss knelt down and told him,
Onyango, please forgive me. I didn't know. I just lost my job. Right now, I won't be able to pay bills. And I think it could be a punishment as a result of a punishment from God. God could have been punishing me for doing all I did for you. Onyango, please find a place in your heart and forgive me. Onyango, please, do forgive me.
Onyango looked at his boss and rubbed off his eyes to confirm if that person kneeling down before him was truly his boss or an imposter. What do we learn from this story? Anything we do in this world has consequences. You might think you are doing something, making yourself happy, but on the other side you are hurting somebody else. God watches everything from above. Never ever injure the feelings of somebody who came to you for help and never offended you. Never take advantage of those people who are there helping you. In as much as you are helping them, in as much as this boss was helping Onyango, but also Onyango was helping the boss. But the boss took advantage of him. He molested him sexually. He made Onyango gay. He raped Onyango severally, until Onyango thought rape was a normal thing to him. At the end of the day, Onyango, thinking he had given his boss everything, the boss sends him away. And in return, the boss loses his job. He has no job. And here he is, begging Onyango for forgiveness, crying bitterly, asking God to forgive him. Be careful how you treat people who come in your life. Be careful how you treat strangers. Be careful how you handle other people's feelings. That is the end of my story. Make sure you subscribe.